One of those guys who got a lot of really good reps in against Calvin Ridley. And maybe there's one guy that you can earmark and just say, get him ready for the opener on September 10th. But that's just my way of thinking, okay? I don't know what Doug Peterson is thinking. More good news health-wise today. Anton Harrison met with the media, and he acted as if there were no more issues with the shoulder. He's fine. He says he's ready for Saturday, ready to take on the Cowboys. I did notice on Monday at one point, after some drills, he was really kind of doing his best to loosen up the shoulder, or I don't know if that was his way of stretching it out. Not sure. And I was actually going to ask him that question, but I was doing a one-on-one with a guy who has replaced him at right tackle when Harrison wasn't in there, talking about Blake Hance as well, for the game coming up here on Saturday, or actually be in Dallas on Saturday, is going to be your starting left guard. But that's incredibly important, okay? I'm an every snap count guy. I want Tyson Campbell out there, but I think they're okay if you hold him out for the next couple of weeks and, again, say, take your chances once you get to the regular season. That's not the case for a rookie in Anton Harrison. That's not the case for a guy who had, 21 starts at Oklahoma at the left tackle position. Now you're asking him to go over there and play the right tackle position. There's going to be major growing pains. There's no doubt about it. There's no way around it. He's a first-round tackle. That's going to happen. Look at Cam Robinson here. Look at Juwan Taylor here. Look at Luke Jokel here. First-round tackles, and in some cases, particularly Robinson and Taylor, all right, second-round tackles, you know there are going to be growing pains. Well, you're talking about a guy now playing a totally different position. So I look at this as absolutely a very good thing for Jaguar fans. He has been out there, and he will be out there, and maybe even some extra reps for him once the rest of the first team comes out. Maybe Hance stays on, but I would think that Cam will be working second-string left tackle, right? And then you'll have Hance stay at left guard. They'll switch things up at center and right guard, and I would think Anton Harrison's going to get a little bit more play at the right tackle position. That's just my thought on the offensive line as we do get some things rolling on Saturday. One issue that I think needs to be accepted right now is this, and I question it. I openly question it, but you have to accept it. Cam Robinson's not going to play left guard. Cam Robinson's not going to play right tackle. I haven't seen Cam Robinson take one snap at left guard. I guess Gene Fournette put it out on Twitter. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I've watched every minute of every practice. I haven't seen it. What I have seen is Walker Little move inside to left guard. So here comes the problem, and maybe it's a pleasant one. Walker, if you were to rank the top 5 offensive players in training camp with 12 in, okay, Walker Little may be, well, frankly, after Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, he may be the number 3 guy as far as what we've seen offensively. Now, that's saying something because this group has been fantastic. I mean, Tank Bigsby has been all world. Travis Etienne has been outstanding. Zay Jones, as a matter of fact, I think in some circles has been even more impressive than Christian Kirk, right? Evan Ingram, what he has been able to do. Sheriff seems as though he doesn't have any of those nagging injuries from 1 year ago. Luke Fortner, some say he's a lot stronger. Others will say, well, look at what Devon Hamilton does. Look at Big Fatukasi and what they're able to do when they match up head-to-head against Sheriff and Fortner. I think that's just noticeable improvement with the interior defensive line. That's nasty. I wish they had that same attitude on the offense as far as the line. But if you were to rank offensive players, in my opinion, Walker Little is absolutely the best offensive lineman and is one of the top offensive players so far. So let's just spend a little time here with a hypothetical on the 9th day of August. What if Walker Little is as good as it gets? What if he is stoning everyone at the line of scrimmage? He is road grading as a run blocker, and there's zero blemishes there at left tackle. Cam comes back. You're paying Cam You're paying him $888,000 a game. He's obviously going to be put in the lineup. And whenever you talk to Phil Rauscher and you hear about cross-training, Blake Hance, for example, and Walker Little, for example. Little all last year played right tackle, right? He practiced that position. This year, he's practicing left tackle, left guard. As I said a moment ago, Cam has been a left tackle in Pop Warner. Cam has been a left tackle in high school. Cam was a left tackle at Alabama. Cam has only been a left tackle here in Jacksonville. Cam has zero shot of being back next year. None. Zilch. Nada. It's a bad contract. You're going to have to get Trevor done. You're going to hopefully have to get Calvin Ridley done. You're going to have to get Josh Allen done and so many others. So Cam Robinson is playing out his contract in Jacksonville with no guaranteed money for next season. Why would you take Walker Little if he's playing well and slide him inside if he is your future left tackle? It makes absolutely zero sense to me, but I'll tell you what I believe the thinking is with the coaching staff. They haven't even begun to think about 2024. They don't worry about 2024 and who the left tackle is going to be in a year. Exactly, in a year. They're more concerned about winning ball games beginning on September 10th. And if they feel as though they are a better team by making the switch of Little dropping down inside, or if Harrison struggles, Little going back over to the right tackle position, that is exactly what this organization is going to do. It's amazing how coaches think compared to how fans think, compared to how the media thinks. Keep an eye on this one. And maybe it's as simple as they've tried before. They've spoken to him about it. Maybe last year, the year prior, whatever it may have been, when there's no media accessibility, they've experimented with Cam Robinson. I'd like to think that that's possibly it. My understanding is, that's not it. He is exclusively a left tackle. So, something to consider there. It's without any question the biggest one that you have on offense. I mean, my goodness, man. Quarterback play, running back play, wide receiver play, tight end play is as good as, I mean, you have the best in all of the AFC South. And some will argue with me with a healthy Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis. And, of course, all the respect for the kid out of Yulee who's still doing it in Tennessee. But how many more years is he going to give you at that pace? If you look at the Jaguars, quarterback, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, tops in the AFC South, we could go back and forth at running back, but that's the only position. And I think a real good chance to rank really high with all of these 16 teams in the AFC. All right. Whether it's the offensive line, whether it is pass rush, whether it is defending the pass, Trent Baalke's done a really nice job with the talent on this team. He's going to be cutting some good players. What's really fortunate is that the COVID rules remain in that you're going to get 16 guys to put on your practice squad. So what, 53 plus 60, and that gives you 69 out of the 90, and it's really 92 right now. As a matter of fact, they have the exemption from the young man across the pond, and then we know that you have the two that are presently on the PUP with Ben Barch and DeJuan Smoot. So you technically have 93 guys. Some changes are going to come. Some more guys may end up on the PUP. But, 16 guys, you're going to cut them, and then you're going to hope, all right, can you keep them here? And in most cases, they want to stay here. Okay? They're aware of their surroundings. They're aware of the depth chart. You just look at a guy like Gregory Jr. You look at a guy like Blake Hance. Those are two right there who are taking advantage of last year here. I mean, Gregory Jr. was cut. They brought him back. He was involved in everything. I spoke with him last week. He was involved with it all as far as team meetings, practice, everything. Got an opportunity real late in the year. I think he got 18 snaps. And I think right now he's the heir apparent at nickel. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he becomes the guy who replaces Trey Herndon at some point, hopefully sooner than later. To me, Trey Herndon is an obvious football player with this starting 22, and in that case, I guess it would be your starting 24. As a matter of fact, if you look at the depth chart, the Jaguars put 12 on offense, 12 on defense, going to a 3 wide receiver set, and also going to nickel coverage defensively. I think the weakest link out of the 24, in my opinion, is Trey Herndon, and it's not that Trey Herndon's not a good football player. It's not that he's not a smart football player. I just don't think he can cover anyone anymore. He can't stay with them step for step. So that is a concern. Anyway, here's what I love the most. And here's what is going to be the most exciting thing for me when you chop this thing down from 90 to 53. Yeah, we can go back and forth about the 5th and 6th wide receiver. Yeah, we can go back and forth about the 9th offensive line. Forget about it, all right? Forget about all that. The competition is in your defensive backfield. How many are you going to keep? How many corners? How many safeties? And what has youth done to some of these veterans? Okay, as far as I'm concerned, Williams, Campbell, Herndon, those 3 corners are locks. Cisco, Jenkins, Wingard, those 3 safeties are locks. Then we start to get into a deep conversation. This is honestly a 12-pack of Miller Lite conversation. I'm going to come right out right now and say Gregory Jr. is a lock to make this team as the backup slot unless something really bad happens for him Saturday in Dallas or next Saturday in Detroit. I also want to believe that it's Buster Brown who is taking advantage of being on the boundary or being on the field as arguably the 3rd cornerback. Now, they're pulling out all the stops. For those who went to practice at the Miller Electric Center on Sunday, you saw Chris Claybrooks get first-team reps. On Monday, it went to Buster Brown. Today, it went to Tavon Campbell. So they don't know what they're going to do there. Obviously, when Tyson Campbell comes back, it eliminates that. But we're talking about the competition, and we're talking about the depth. I also want to say Antonio Johnson is a 5th-round pick, is absolutely on this team. And it's fascinating when you look at Jacksonville, and this is why I love sitting next to Dave Campo during games, the variety of different defenses they did in their backfield. All of the attention is on what? 3-4, 4-3. Hand in the dirt, standing up, getting to the quarterback. Is it a flat-out simple rush? Are you blitzing more linebackers? It looks like they're going to do that this year with Devin Lloyd. Are you going to stunt more, try to do some things, be a little bit more creative in year 2 with Mike Caldwell? Okay, is your starting defensive line, once you go to nickel, are you going to slide Walker inside, have Chason on the other side of Josh Allen? And just say to Chason, listen, we know you're fast. We know you have one move. The whole National Football League knows you have one move. Kids in 6th grade know that you have one move. But go out there and do it. At least be consistent. Take the edge. Don't let anyone get outside of you. Push it inside the pocket. Hopefully you can do that. Then all of a sudden, maybe with big, RRH or Devon Hamilton or Trayvon, all of a sudden, you're getting a little bit of push in there. You feel me? Maybe that's what's going to happen. But lost in all this is, what about the secondary? Jacksonville last year had a safety in the box all the time, right? They were actually 7th in the NFL in a cover 3 defensive scheme. Obviously, you're all aware of the cover 2, right, where a safety is behind the corner. Cover 3 is like that, but instead the football field gets cut in thirds. And it's a little bit more of a protection, particularly on, crossing routes, things like that. When you look at Kansas City's offense and how they do things, whether it's a legal pick or whatever it may be, but the way that they change up receivers and tight ends and how they go to different spots throughout the defensive side of the field. Jacksonville really changed that up. They also were 6th in the NFL in single high snaps, where you are the center fielder, right? You're Willie Mays, man. Can you imagine being in New York in the 1950s where you had the New York Giants with Willie Mays, you had the New York Yankees with Mickey Mantle, you had the Brooklyn Dodgers with Duke Schneider. All right, let me tone it down for you. How about a Odemy McDowell? Kidding. How about an Andrew Jones in center field? How about a Ken Griffey Jr. in center field? How about a 5'6" Kirby Puckett in center field? So Jacksonville, there's a variety of different things back there. It just doesn't get talked about as much with fans because everything is on getting to the quarterback. Folks, this is the best bit of competition on this football team. Daniel Thomas makes $1 million. You cut him, he only costs you $79,000. Chris Claybrooks, who had just a spectacular interception today. One-handed grab. He looked like Dick Night Train Lane. He took it all the way back, and I'm sitting there saying, my goodness. I'm like, Beathard, I'm trying to move on from Herndon and Claybrooks. How dare you throw a wounded duck like that? It was actually a pretty nicely thrown ball. But Claybrooks made the play of the year so far in practice defensively. And I'm like, how are you going to cut him? If you cut Chris Claybrooks, he costs you $25,000. So where I'm at with this is, in my opinion, Claybrooks can't cover. Herndon can't cover. They're two of the better gunners in the NFL. Jacksonville's special teams is outstanding. You have one of the best punters in the game. You have one of the best kickers in the game. You have one of the best punt and or kick returners in the game. You also have two of the very good gunners in the game. Do you keep them both? Right now, I would say Claybrooks is far ahead of Daniel Thomas, who I think is a liability in coverage. I know that Andrew Wingard is a liability in coverage. Is it time to keep both these young players? Heath Farwell mentioned Antonio Johnson as a gunner. Can he replace Thomas or Claybrooks? Can Eric Hallett, who's doing a number of different things, I spoke with him earlier in the week, played 27 games at Pittsburgh as a safety. Others believe he's strictly in the slot. Maybe he's a guy that's worked a little bit on the outside. All of a sudden, are there guys here on the defensive side in the secondary that can do multiple things? You want to win now. Special teams-wise, I want Daniel Thomas and I want Chris Claybrooks. But if someone goes down and you're going in the nickel and you're going in the dime, and we're talking about those three safety sets or whatever it may be, and something happens in game where someone goes down or someone needs a blow and you got to go to another backup, where's your trust level there? I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but if you're trying to tell me that you have Trey Herndon, Chris Claybrooks, Andrew Wingard, and Daniel Thomas, any combination of more than one of those on the field at the same time, that's petrifying. It's time for some of these younger players. So that is absolutely going to be my attention coming up on Saturday, seeing what the best overall competition has been, and all of a sudden a position group where there's so much youth, but there's a possibility. I mean, all these kids could fail. Caleb Hayes could fail. Christian Braswell could fail. Buster Brown, Gregory Jr. could fail. Eric Hallett could fail. They also, what if one or two of those, the light goes on? They all have length. They all can move. So it's only a good thing. And those who get cut, you hope you can bury, right? You can put them on that practice squad. We'll see. I think there are other teams around the league that are certainly aware of that. The flip side would be, I imagine, Trent Baalke and his staff very aware of others who are going to end up getting cut after the last preseason game. All right. Opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Right here in Jacksonville, located down at the beach. Again, standing on the practice field today at the Miller Electric Center. A couple of members of the media trying to figure out a number. I had it. I nailed it. 2020. Okay? I have so many problems, but my eyes are not one of them. That's because I have my routine checkups at Shmunez Vision. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a candidate for laser eye surgery. That's because I did have surgery on my right eye going back more than 8 years ago. That's something else that is very important. I want you to realize at Shmunez Vision, they are high-quality medical and surgical eye care as well for any of your misfortunes, or no matter what it could be. It could be cataract, right? You may think you need cataract surgery. There may be another way to prevent that. So check them out online, shmunezvision.com, or set up an appointment today and just start firing off questions to both Catherine Shmunez and Neil Shmunez, of course, both respectfully referred to as doctors. Their number is 299-2906. You go to shmunezvision.com. Coming up next, Blake Hance, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it just gets bigger and better. Blake Hance, the jack of all trades on the offensive line, the young man out of Northwestern. He goes into the night with Rick Ballou.
Rick Ballou is the truth teller.
Tell the truth. That's all. Just tell the truth.
Go into the night with Rick Ballou after the Frangie Show. Then it's Hacker After Dark.
Between him and me.
Ballou and Hacker. Evenings on 1010XL.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again, recognizing the local heroes in our community with a brand new car. That's right, we'll be giving away a brand new car, cash, and free oil changes for life to our local heroes. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, or your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pick up basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at BarryOrthopedics.com.
When an all-pro lineman serves up sausage and stories, it's gotta be Lunch with Leon.
When you're an NFL player, you do a lot of dumb things.
Brought to you by the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose. Weekdays on 1010XL.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Did you know that many cooling companies are now part of big conglomerates with no connection to Northeast Florida? In the past, they have concentrated on heating and air conditioning, but after a buyout, many add plumbing and electrical services. This raises their overhead, and those costs are passed on to the consumer. It's a case where bigger isn't better, it's just more expensive. Not Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Mike Merritt remains family-owned and operated. Merritt's focus has been the same for more than 30 years, keeping Northeast Florida comfortable, no matter what the weather. And there are no overtime or weekend surcharges. Mike Merritt's team does not work on commission. They repair only what needs repair and offer replacements only on what can't be fixed. And unlike at giant corporations where you can feel like just another number, with Mike Merritt, you'll feel like number one. Florida license CACO 50384.
Summertime is here, and it's time to cast those worries out. And Royal is here to help you do that with our summer termite special featuring Centricon. Starting at just $249. That's right, I said $249, and that's installed.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Summer Nights, presented by One to One Financial, is an evening affair benefiting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Saturday, August 26th. Enjoy an evening at the beautiful Glass Factory as you sip premium cocktails, dance the night away with live swing music from Bold City Classics, taste delicious dishes from local restaurants, and win exciting auction packages. For details and tickets, go to tinyurl.com/2023 Summer Nights.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
The Jacksonville Eye Center's vision is all about your vision. Vision correction for all ages. From an early age to your elder years, being able to see clearly is just a phone call away. Call 355-5555 and say hello to Dr. Robert Snipper. With the latest technology and advancements in vision care, the Jack's Eye Center can help you from top-line care, glasses, contacts, to expert LASIK procedures and cataract surgery. See what you've been missing at the Jacksonville Eye Center.
There's a world of difference between and that's why you can trust Famous Automotive and Tire when it comes to your vehicle's care. Because there's a difference between and. It all starts with the triangle of safety. Your tires, brakes, and the front end. Take care of those 3 points and your car will take good care of you. Start at Famous Automotive and Tires. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
So excited to be with you. I feel a lot of energy. I feel it coming out of Springfield right now. I'm almost jealous. I know there's some good things going on there around Main Street that unfortunately I'm not a part of. But get after it. Enjoy your Miller Lights, and for crying out loud, have a designated driver. Okay? Or use Uber. You know? We care for you. We do. First things first, how you doing, Agent Kibbs? What's up? Third show with you. I keep looking. From what I understand, JJ got married on Saturday. That means he's been married for 5 days.
That's right. He's approaching a week. Good for him. He's still at it, man. He's still engaged, or still married, I guess so. And that's good. It's good for him. I think he was on a cruise where, to the Bahamas? That's good.
I didn't know it was a cruise. I just thought he was going to the Bahamas.
Oh, is it not a cruise? I thought it was. I didn't know. But
you young guys, when you talk, I don't always listen.
Yeah,
so it may have been. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm no longer married. I wasn't a good listener. You going to watch Ohtani tonight?
Always, yeah. I mean, Braves are trying to continue to win. They had a big one last night, come from behind in the ninth against the closer for the Pirates, Bednar. But, yeah, man, anytime Ohtani gets on the mound or in the box, he's always fun to watch.
Blake answered in 1 minute. Let me mention this. And, you know, I'm almost bragging about Trent Baalke. Dead money. Do you remember a couple of years ago when Jacksonville was $30 million deep in the dead money? Right now, they're $4,700,000 in the dead money. Really, the only big hit is Shaq. Shaq Griffin cost you $4 million. Laviska Shenault cost you nearly $1 million at $789,000. For those who don't know, once you get your 53-man roster in, you got to have your 53 players, your 16 practice squad players, and your dead money all under the $224.8 million salary cap figure. So that's the dead money. Sometimes is looked at as, oh, Shad Khan's going to – it's not that. It's figuring that into your salary cap structure, if that does make any sense. And, you know, I want to brag here about Trent Baalke, but a lot of these contracts are just rookie contracts that obviously he was not here for. It was still part of the Dave Caldwell regime. But if you just look at guys that may make this team, may not make this team, in their dead cap money figures, it's really a wonderful position for this franchise to be in. And frankly, I didn't realize it was all that good. Okay, if you cut JaMychal Hasty, it's going to cost you $300,000. Right? If you cut Trey Herndon, well, that's pricey, $2,582,000. You look at guys in the final year of their contract. Again, Shaq Quarterman cost you $123,000. We just talked about Daniel Thomas, and we talked about Chris Claybrooks. All right, $79,000 and $25,000 respectively. Chandler Brewer, who's a guy I kind of noticed early on, but seems like he's maybe fallen back a little bit for that, you know, one of those final spots, $150,000. Are you going to keep the four backs to Ernest Johnson? $50,000 is all it's going to cost you. I'm under the assumption that Josh Wells begins the season as your swing tackle, right? Little on the left, Harrison on the right. Your third tackle's the grizzled vet. Well, if you let him go, it's $150,000. And, you know, guys like Henry Mondu, who I haven't seen him do anything. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if he's practicing. $25,000, okay? Michael Dogby, $25,000. I haven't seen him do anything at all. Jacob Harris had maybe the play of the day today, the wide receiver. Trevor Lawrence to Jacob Harris, completely broken coverage by Andre Sisco and Darius Williams. All of a sudden, this Harris kid looks like he could play. Some of these younger wide receivers look like they can play, and you hope that, you know, you can put some of these players on your practice squad. How about this? My next guess, Blake Hance, if cut, zero dead money. Cole Van Lannon, zero dead money. Tavon Campbell, who my guess is will make this team, $100,000 if he ends up getting cut. Really, Gregory Jr., Sammis Reyes, Tim Jones, who had a bad day today, dropped 2 passes. Kendrick Pryor has really shown out in practice. Coy Cronk has been noticeable. All of these players, no dead cap money. Nothing. And I imagine that may be relative league-wide. I don't study salary caps for the other 31 teams. So money's not it. Jacksonville has plenty, at least for this year. But next year, well, that's a totally different story. But who cares about next year? You got the 2023 season right here, right now. Today, I had an opportunity to catch up with a guy who's been all around the offensive line. That is Blake Hance, and I talked with him after the Jaguars' 12th practice during today's training camp. Another hot one out here today. Your thoughts overall?
Yeah, it's a good one. You know, a little lighter practice today as we gear up for the first game. Definitely been hot. You got that right.
Looks like you'll be the starting left guard Saturday in Dallas against the Cowboys. What's that like?
Yeah, you know, it's always got to be ready for anything. You know, we've had some injuries and stuff, and got to be ready to go any spot. Obviously, I'm always looking to fill in any chance I can get and any reps I can get. Just try to make the most of them. So it's been good. Looking forward to any opportunity that comes.
Very versatile, playing right tackle as well. What's it like to be able to basically do whatever this football team wants you to?
Yeah, I honestly feel comfortable, like I can play all 5 spots against anybody. So, I feel like that's my biggest value add, is being able to jump in at any spot in a pinch with not a lot of preparation. I've done it countless times in my career. So, I always feel comfortable and confident at all 5 spots.
You were here in 2019. You were here for the better part of last year. What's different so far this year for you?
This year, different than last year, or
just different from your time around the league, and again, you were here in 2019.
Yeah, 2019 obviously everybody in the building was different back then. Some carryover teammates, but I came in right at the perfect time last year, right before a Vegas game, right when the wind started coming, and it was a lot of fun. And you can tell this group's special. And last year, coming in, I think they were 2-6 or something when I got here, and there was nothing but confidence in the room, in the locker room, especially the O-line room. It's one of the best groups I've been around. Just guys that all really trust each other, really confident in each other.
Last one from me. What have you seen so far with the rookie in Tank Bigsby?
Tank Bigsby?
Yeah.
I love the way he puts his foot in the ground and hits the hole downhill fast. There's not a lot of hesitation in him, which is good, and you can just see the power that he's got behind him. So I'm excited to see him in some live in-game action.
Appreciate the time.
Yep, thanks.
Eyes will be on everyone who gets an opportunity to play on Saturday, but what an opportunity here for Blake Hance. And let's consider the following, all right? He's your starter at left guard. This guy could hold on to that for a considerable amount of time and be a key backup once either Shatley or Barch returns, or he could struggle mightily and be cut in less than 3 weeks. That's the league, right? All of the offseason talk. I didn't spend a lot of time on Blake Hance. I just did not. I didn't spend a lot of time on Chandler Brewer. I didn't spend a lot of time on Cole Van Lannon. I didn't spend a lot of time on Darrell Williams. I didn't spend a lot of time on Coy Cronk. It's up to them right now. But imagine being a part of that. This guy has it all right there ahead of him. He's been a practice squad journeyman. He was here in 2019. He returned last year, I think, November 1st. You heard him say they were 2-6. They brought him in, and all of a sudden things turned around. I always say this. I talk to former offensive linemen. To me, it's the hardest position group for me to try to understand, especially when you look at concepts and how, Phil Rauscher wants his offensive linemen to block. Are they forced to do a little bit, some things differently, depending on pass protection or depending on what, your defense is doing? We always talk about chess matches in college basketball or whatever it may be. When Syracuse rolls into town, they're going to press. How do things change offensively? The offensive line, it's always felt like, well, the offense is going to dictate what the defense does, right? Whenever we talk about the Jaguars' defense, it comes on the heels of what we think the opponent's offense is going to do. Is that always the case? What if you're taking on a dominant defense? And Jacksonville's going to get some really good defenses this year, including Pittsburgh, including San Francisco, including Baltimore. I mean, those are just 3 off the top of my head, always among the best defensive teams in the NFL. So that's going to be interesting. And after the game, what you see will be intriguing, but also get an opportunity to talk with some folks to witness what, in fact, they actually did see as well. All right, show tonight brought to you in part by the good folks over at Patriot Roofing Services. Whether it's commercial or residential, All right. They are your one-stop. Patriot Roofing Services, gutters, sun tubes, skylights, 10-year workmanship warranty, financing available, no subcontractors. Therefore, it's Mark. All right. Just give him a call, 982-4052. That's Mark over at Patriot Roofing Services. They are licensed and insured. Hurricane season's here. I hope your roof is okay. I hope your business's roof is okay as well. If there's an issue, go to patriotroofing.com. That is always your best way to go about it. All right, John Osher at 7 o'clock. In the meantime, let's hear from you on the text line tonight, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Jaguar questions, 641-1010. That is the best way to get us, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. It's great to have you alongside. My name's Rick Ballou with you tonight till 8.
You're AFC South champs, baby.
It's a new season.
I like where this team's headed.
A new era.
The players here want to win.
A new hope.
I want to win.
We're all here to win.
Guys have that feeling, the taste in their mouth.
This is where the dream begins. The Dallas Cowboys. Hear it happen Saturday at 2 on 1010XL.
Wood floors should make your home look cozy and inviting, but old worn-out floors can look kinda Let Renew Solutions give your floors a stunning makeover. For a no-obligation appointment, visit RenewJacksFloors.com.
Of course, Roland Reich Plumbing has awards from Folio Weekly and the Bold City's Best. Now, Roland Reich is also confirmed as the Google Guaranteed Plumbing Service. Because when you do plumbing right, the word gets around. That's Roland Reich Plumbing.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 9, 1936, Jesse Owens is part of the American 100-meter relay team that wins gold in world record fashion at the Berlin Olympics.
The 9 after 5 rolls on at the Golf Club of Southampton, so get on the tee with me, Joe C. The XL Primetime League is in the summer stretch, and you need to be part of it. Southampton invites you to join us every Wednesday for our 9 after 5. Beat the heat and blow off a little steam with friends and family at Southampton. A great game every week, good grub afterwards, and prizes. Call 287-PLAY and get in the game every Wednesday. It's our 9 after 5 at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping clients all over Florida with their construction perm loans for 34 years. Construction perm loans are not easy to find because a lot of banks and credit unions don't understand them, and therefore they don't like to do them. Well, your problem is solved. Trustline Mortgage wants to help you build your dream home. Our construction perm loans are single close, so you save money by not having to close twice, like with other lenders. Some of our construction perm loans allow you to lock in your interest rate up front. And if interest rates go down, we'll give you the better rate. We offer up to 100% VA loans, up to 96.5% for FHA loans, and up to 95% for conventional loans. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you build your dream home. Or visit our website at TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing lender. MLS number 331480.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades. proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
My partners had told me I should get my knee replaced. I was in my 40s, and I decided that I wouldn't do that.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog, who found regenerative medicine years ago and became a believer.
It changed my life around. It improved me to a point where I was able to jog again.
That's when Dr. Herzog switched his focus from surgery to helping his patients with natural biologics.
I've treated at least 5,000 patients. I believe your body has everything it needs to heal itself.
Today, you'll find Dr. Herzog at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine that can give lasting pain relief with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery.
I have patients coming up to me that I did 10 years ago saying, Doc, my elbow's still working great. I'm playing tennis 3 days a week.
Call QC Kinetics now to explore alternative ways to deal with your pain. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Florida State practices here tomorrow and Friday, so looking forward to going out there. Hopefully they'll have the pads on, do a little bit of hitting. This is what, year 3? Maybe year 4? I think it's year 3, though, with Mike Norvell taking that luxurious trip down I-10. Apparently they have already done so. They had a shortened practice on Wednesday. But I will be out there tomorrow getting an opportunity to watch practice and also talk with some players after they work out Thursday as well as Friday. The 0027 says, Ballou, perhaps they want Cam to work at left tackle so they can trade him in the offseason. They're going to cut him. He's got no guaranteed money. You can't trade him after the year. No one's going to pick up that contract. And, by getting in trouble, even the guarantees for this year are no longer there. He's worked hard, and he's looked good. Cam Robinson has been, the second or third best offensive lineman out there. Clearly behind Walker Little, and I think you got to give credit to your right guard in Brandon Sheriff. But Cam's done some nice things. And, I try to weigh everything. When you talk about the Jaguars having the 31st best offensive line, then the Jaguars' pass rush was 26th in the NFL with only 35 sacks. Every team has issues. I think it was a better week for the defense as far as the pass rush. It's certainly something that I'm surprised that they haven't gone out and done something there. Okay, especially yesterday, Clowney visiting Baltimore. I don't even know if Clowney can get off the ball anymore. I mean, he had 2 sacks last year in 12 games? He's a big name. Sometimes we get fooled with big names, right? Melvin Ingram, 6 sacks last year. JPP is 34.
You realize that Clowney has never had a double-digit sack season in the NFL?
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Everybody remembers the hit against Michigan. You thought, wow, this guy's going to get 12 to 14 sacks a year. He hasn't had one season with double digits. Now he had a 9.5. That was 2017, back in his prime, I guess. Just surprises me that he's never had a double-digit year.
What did he did last year? All the complaining he did. He thought that he wasn't getting his just due and was making a big deal about it within the locker room in Cleveland. I don't know. Carlos Dunlap is 34. Robert Quinn is 33. I almost feel as though they missed, the Frank Clarks, the Uniques, those type of players. Justin Houston. So, will someone get cut? Well, if they get cut, isn't there a reason why they get cut? It's really fascinating. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get to this next hour. I put it out on Twitter earlier today and got a ton of reaction on it. If I was to set a line for Trayvon Walker for 5.5 sacks, you going over or under? And obviously you can't push. I put the half sack in there for that that very reason. So we could get an understanding as whether you think he's going 6 or below when it comes to Trayvon Walker. A couple more of these before John Osher. Let me see. Yeah, here's an interesting one. Baloo, who would you rather play opening weekend, Gardner Minshew or AR? Without any question, give me the rookie. Give me Anthony Richardson, who's got twice the amount of talent that check down Minshew has. But all of a sudden, you get Gardner Minshew together, and all of a sudden, you bring along Jim Bob Cooter. And, man, even though I guess the two weren't really together, right? Minshew was battling for that starting job. He was an or. Gardner Minshew or Trevor Lawrence. Jim Bob came in a year later, but give me the rookie. You know, I may change my opinion on that next year. I may change my opinion on that by 2025. But for right now, absolutely. Got to go with the rookie. Let's see if I can get one more in here. I had one other that I responded to that, here we go, the 68-43. Baloo, left tackle. It doesn't matter, the paycheck. Play the best left tackle. It's the sunk cost fallacy. Well, that's kind of my point. That's kind of, what I was saying. I'm giving you a hypothetical that, in my opinion, Walker Little has been one of the best players on the practice field since the pads went on. He has been dominant in one-on-one drills. Okay, he looks like the best tackle during 11-on-11. So if he keeps this up for 4 games, he's your future. Why would you move him? The answer is they believe he's versatile. He worked all last year at right tackle, didn't get really any snaps there because Cam and Juwan went down that same game, and Juwan toughed it back out, came out and played. What did Little get, like a dozen snaps, if that? He had to go over to the left tackle position where he played 5 games. 3 in the regular season? 2 playoff games. And he's working at left guard. So Cam Robinson is a left tackle, period. That's the only answer I can give you because I agree. Give Cam some work at right tackle. Give Cam some work at left guard. Obviously, their feeling is, Baloo, you do not know what you were talking about. You have no clue, okay? Regardless of how well Walker Little plays, when it's game 5, Cam goes back to left tackle. And then at that point, Walker Little slides inside to left guard, or if Anton Harrison is struggling, he moves over to right tackle. I think that's what you're going to see. All right, we have much more to do, including John Osher, who's coming up here on the other side. Got a lot of really good questions coming in. I'm going to try to get to each and every one of you. Best way to do that is the text line. 641-1010. It's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
I'm Doug Flutie from Boston College.
Throws it down.
And this is 1010XL.
Caught by Boston College. I don't believe it. Oh. It's a touchdown. The Eagles win it.
Be ready for anything, on the road or off-road this summer at Nimnicht Buick GMC. Popular Buick and GMC models are arriving daily. No one will ever pay over MSRP at Nimnicht Buick GMC. Frank Frangie here. Stop by their showroom on Phillips Highway just south of I-295 or shop online at NimnichtBuickGMC.com and see why Nimnicht Buick GMC is Jacksonville's #1 Buick GMC dealer. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at Wingstop.com.
Frank Frangie here for Ponte Vedra Hearing Associates. They understand that no 2 ears are the same. That's why they offer custom-fit hearing solutions tailored specifically to your needs. Already have hearing aids and still not hearing well? Ponte Vedra Hearing Associates services all makes and models and offers a free 10-point cleaning check of your current aids. Call 404-5108. That's 404-5108 or visit PonteVedraHearing.com today.
How much does a cloud weigh? The answer coming right up.
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
According to the National Geological Society, a normal cumulus cloud can weigh up to 1 million pounds, or about 500 tons.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs, and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
WJXL-FM, Jacksonville Beach.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Well, gang, you play all year for this. You go down to the Shark Tank all year for this. It's time to play for the ship. It's championship game Saturday night for your Jacksonville Sharks. At the VyStar Arena, kickoff at 7 o'clock, and tickets to get in start at just $20. Don't miss it. It's the game of the year as the Sharks go for a title. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jackssharks.com for more information. And we'll see you in the Shark Tank Saturday night.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
All right, Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. We know what that means. John Osher is in, senior writer, Jaguars.com. You get everything from John and his staff Just go to Jaguars.com. Mr. Osher, always a pleasure.
Rick, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. I really am. And I thought today, Jacksonville got some good news both on Anton Harrison after he spoke, says he's ready. And then, noticing that Tyson Campbell, he's still a ways away, but just to have him out there is better than it certainly could be.
Yeah, I mean, you want those guys back. I guess I was waiting to sort of press the panic button with Tyson because his concussion, while clearly anything like that is serious, we're still a month out. So he's a guy, if it's a rookie you're missing time, you're concerned about, I don't think Tyson Campbell, as long as he's back, is going to be hurt from a football standpoint from being out. And Harrison, yes, you want him in during preseason games to get the reps that he needs. I get the feeling Harrison will be pretty good, Rick. I know we can't really tell anything from non-padded work. He's done some, but he just looks to me like a kid who sort of gets it and has all the ability. I have a tough time seeing him not being okay this year.
Yeah. You and I have had this conversation forever. I'm one of those every snap count guys that I think it's so important. However, when it comes to Tyson Campbell, I think he's shown what he can do, and his earlier practices against Calvin Ridley was just phenomenal. However, on the case of Anton Harrison, man, he needs every rep that he can get. So for him to come back the way that he did, a little bit of work on Saturday, but then being fully involved with contact both Sunday and Monday, I think was huge for this football team.
Yeah, I think a major positive is it feels like Walker Little on the other side. I don't want to say he's never going to need help because guys usually need help, but that he will be able to handle the left side so that it's a little easier to help Anton Harrison at times during the season, especially early.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he definitely, it's key for him to have the reps. Certainly sounded from what Doug said like he's going to get more than the other starters, and I think all rookies will. So, yeah, it's a good thing. And somebody asked me today what success will look like for him. Or, I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll have hiccups early. But I just don't get the sense that he's going to be a season-long storyline of, man, what's wrong with Anton Harrison? He's why they're struggling. I think they're going to be okay on the offensive line. I know people are anxious about it, but I kind of like what I see.
John Osher, I guess, senior writer, Jaguars.com, each and every Wednesday at 7. He goes into the night with Rick Ballou. All right, everything on that offensive line is the tackles against the pass rush and the pass rush against the tackles. What about Sheriff and Fortner inside? And, Devon Hamilton is having just a phenomenal camp. RRH has picked up where he left off. Those have been some good battles, and particularly with Hamilton, we've seen him move back those two guys. What do you make of the interior defensive line?
Well, I think it's going to be one of those areas that's going to be a strength and might not get credit for it because a lot of times people don't credit the defensive line because they don't have sacks. And they'll have some sacks, but you're not going to get, 12 sacks out of all those guys. But I think what you're looking at, Doug alluded to this, I think it was Saturday when he was talking, or whenever the last time he talked before today was, that they feel like they're going to be really stout up front and be really, really good against the run and be really solid up front. And to me, that starts with Hamilton, Harris. I get the feeling that Foley Fatukasi is having a really good camp. When you add a really good inside linebacker behind that in Foye Oluokun, and then I think two pretty good safeties, now you're strong up the middle of the defense. That's where it starts. It's hard to be good anywhere until you're good there. And I think those guys being stout are going to help everybody around them. And I've said all day today, and people are tired of hearing me saying it if they heard me before, I think the defensive angst is overrated. They were a good defense last year. They finished 12th in points and 4th in turnovers. Everybody back. Pretty good interior. I just think they're going to be a better defense than people think.
Yeah.
Top 5, no. Good enough to complement a good offense? I think so.
Yeah, I was reading the Ozone, as I do all the time, and I saw that you said you think they keep 5 inside linebackers. Boy, I'm really struggling to come up with 53. I mean, I'm going to go with 4 inside linebackers because I want an extra defensive back, but that's kind of my point. There is really a lot of competition. Now, hopefully you can keep 16 guys here on the practice squad unless they absolutely see one after another roster that they feel they have to go out and get. But this is going to be tricky down the stretch.
Well, remember last year, I didn't do the math on the question you're talking about, but last year they kept a really small comparative number of offensive guys on that first wave and had like a lot of defensive guys. And I think it's because it's so important on special teams run into that problem. It's tough to get to that 5 number, but you get a feeling that they're going to figure out a way to keep Ventrell Miller because he feels so important for the future. His injury aside, is he coming back fast enough? Does he have to go on IR at some point? I don't know those. I don't know the answer to those questions. To me, it's tough to keep Miller over Quarterman because you've seen Quarterman be really good special teams and really good reserve. So I think that could be an issue, but it feels to me like they may be forced to keep both because of the short-term and long-term importance.
With Campbell out, we saw Clay Brooks really get the start on Sunday, Buster on Monday, Buster Brown, and today. I thought it was Tavon Campbell getting the majority of the snaps. Do you have? I mean, what's your best guess? Who do you think the starter is? And that's not even the most important part. Has any one of those 3 stood out to you with Campbell out?
Not really, to be honest with you. I think they're all guys. I'm not trying to evade the question, but right now I think they're all guys who they're clearly working them in practice. They clearly want somebody to step up. It doesn't feel like anybody's stepped. Maybe Buster Brown, but when I'm saying maybe, it means you haven't really seen it.
Yeah.
I think those are areas to watch. Clearly, if they're working all 3 equally on different days, I think you'll see all of them get reps, and I think that's a major storyline coming into camp, and remains so. I think we talked about right before camp started.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's Herndon, Williams, and Campbell, and then a lot of late drafted guys who sort of feel similar. At some point, somebody's got to step up. I haven't really seen it, and maybe I'm just missing it.
Yeah. Well, going back to our conversations from a couple of years ago, I've been yelling about offense, and they've done the offense. I don't think you can fix everything at once. If this defense can maintain, if they can keep it at 20.6 points a game, this offense is going to increase again this year. I'm thinking somewhere 27, 28. And they're going to win a lot more games than they're not if you can just keep that defense in sync.
Well, again, a point I've made in the Ozone the last few days, they're bringing everybody back from the defense. And sometimes we focus so much all off season on, hey, year 2 under Doug Peterson offensively, year 2 for Trevor, year 2 for these offensive guys. Well, it's not as obvious on defense, but continuity on that side of the ball isn't going to hurt. You're working with Mike Caldwell again. You're talking about a defense who was 4th in the league in turnover and 12th in points. There's this perception out there that they were awful defensively and great on offense last year. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if they were awful defensively. They had moments. They had moments defensively. They had moments offensively, too, where they struggled. So this defense is going to be one that depends on turnovers. If you can stop the run and get in some passing situations and then bring some packages, then I think they can rush the passer enough to get back to being a turnover-creating team. You're not going to be first in offense and first in defense in this league.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be a major offensive force, and then you got to break serve on defense. with the continuity they've got and their stoutness up the middle, I just think they got a better chance than a lot of people who are observing this thing.
Last one for you, as far as younger guys, Abdullah and Jordan Smith, and I'll even put Kayvon Chason in there, even though he's in his fourth year. Really haven't seen an awful lot with the pass rush, and it feels like with younger guys, I'm seeing more inside. Deshaun Dixon, Tyler Lacey, that great practice a couple of days ago with Raymond Vohasek. What are your thoughts there? I think. Are you there, Johnny? All right, we lost John Osher. That's okay. We appreciate his time. Obviously, there was a bad cellular link there, but in my opinion, that has absolutely been the case. Gibby, that's all right. We can say goodbye to him, and we'll just check up with him. I'll see Johnny during practice, and
that was a good question, by
the
way.
Yeah, it is. It appears to be the most worrisome question for the fan base. Okay? I made a statement a week ago that I was actually more concerned about nickel than I was the pass rush. And, people are like, well, if you address the pass rush and you get better there, it's going to help the nickel. And there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you don't get a pass rush, you can bring back Mel Blount and Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson and Deion Sanders, and you're not going to be able to stop anyone if you're not getting a little bit of pressure. I just haven't seen it yet. What was it, a 4.47 speed for Yasir Abdullah? Jordan Smith, I mean, you talk about length, okay, but he was clearly a project when he got here, and he's trying to battle back from the injury, but I just haven't really seen anything from him. Kayvon Chason, you want so bad for the light to go on. I mean, if you've ever spoken to Kayvon, he really is a really good guy. I mean, if he was if his personality ever came out, let's just say he was a star, I think he'd be one of the favorite players on this football team. Then again, any star on any team is going to be one of the favorites because he makes plays. But he really does have a pretty cool personality, does Kayvon Chason. I am concerned about the pass rush, but I tell you what, I like the young guys. And let me say this to you right now. If you gave me Deshaun, let's say it was a grab bag, right? If you said to me, Deshaun Dixon, Tyler Lacey, and Raymond Vohasek, those three, compared to Henry Mondu, Michael Dogby, and Adam Gotsis, I'm probably going to take the first group. The only exception would be Gotsis, who's he's a guy that's going to give you a little bit of play here, a little bit of play there. He's a good football player as a role player, and he's a proven guy. But I got to tell you, I have not seen anything in Henry Mondu. I haven't seen anything outside of a fight with Michael Dogby. Doesn't mean they haven't done some things. I just haven't seen them. Okay? It's, ladies and gentlemen, it's harder than you think. When you got 90 guys plus staff and coaches, and it is. It's not as okay when you're working exclusively 11 on 11 or 7 on 7. Well, even 7 on 7's a bad example because on the other field you've got other things that are going on. You can't possibly watch everything at one time. But it feels to me like these younger guys in the middle have turned some heads. Adam Gotsis, to me, makes this team, no question, right? But Tyler Lacey's the guy they used a 4th-round draft pick on. Deshaun Dixon, they asked to put on some weight. They moved him up. There's no guarantee he makes this team. I'm not saying that. Raymond Vohasek is a 7th-round pick out of North Carolina. There's no guarantee he makes this team. But it has made for some interesting stuff. I think the interior defensive line is doing, let's say, better than I expected. And I think it starts with Devon Hamilton, who's had just a great camp. He really has. And Roy Robertson Harris looks the part. You know, Big Fat 2 is maintaining. That's deep with those three. You know, is it crazy for me to say right now that the number 4 guy on that list would be Tyler Lacey as a rookie? A 4th-round rookie? Can you really make a statement like that? I'm sure the coaching staff right now, if they heard me, they'd laugh. They'd say, wrong. We're going to play Adam Gotsis. He's got experience in this league. He's who we're going to go to next. But is Lacey ahead of Henry Mondu and Michael Dogby? I would think so. So, anyway, pretty interesting stuff there. This is a I will say this, okay? For the years of sitting around here talking about a really bad team and trying to find a silver lining and trying to be like, well, it's really not as bad as it looks. This is not the case. This is a very intriguing football team. It's a team that is honestly one of the best 90-man rosters I've ever seen. And, you know, I'd really have to go back and look at what I saw in, 96 through 99. And it was a totally different world then as far as, double sessions and Coughlin's training camp in the old NFL compared to today's NFL. But this just feels like the culture is there. People want to be there. People want to play for this team. I think the guys who get cut, I think you're going to see the majority of them want to stay here unless their agent says, we have an opportunity for you here. Look at their depth chart, and it makes total sense for you to leave here and go to that particular team. Unless something like that happens, I think you're going to see the majority of these, out of the 16, heck, it could be a 12, 13, 14. And Jacksonville may let a couple of guys go only if they, through their scouting at another team, look and say, no, we really love this kid to begin with, and we're going to try to bring him in. But, this is a really good feeling. Just to be out there watching these guys work, and you as a Jaguar fan, I imagine you're very excited about the possibilities with this football team. All right, let's get to your comments on it. Lots are rolling in on the text line. If you would like to join us, the best way to do so is 641-1010. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, let's have a little bit of fun here in our final 40 minutes. I threw it out today. Trayvon Walker, I set the line at 5.5 sacks. He had 3.5 as a rookie. Okay? Which way you going? You can't push because I have a hook here at 5.5. And I'm not one of those who's going to judge Trayvon Walker, nor have I judged or have I looked at Trayvon Walker specifically as a pass rusher. But I'm kind of, playing that role here today on August 9th because so many of you, not only locally but nationally, that is how you're going to look at this guy. So 5.5. Which way you going? You going over or are you going under? We'll do that on the other side as well. It's great to have you with us along with Agent Gibbs. My name's Rick Ballou.
The fire which burns inside them. It's essential to understand that battles are won primarily in the hearts of men. And once you have won their hearts, they'll follow you anywhere.
1010XL.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Ballou here for Chinatry Chiropractic, the breakdown of the body. Stop fighting it. Visit Chinatry Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of JU Athletics. Back and neck pain, arms, legs giving you problems. Get an effective diagnosis and treatment with an adjustment or dry needling. How about acupuncture, which I love because it works? Get rid of your pain and tension. Call 743-6700 or visit them at 2711 University Boulevard, Chinatry Chiropractic.
E.T. here for Brackish Vodka. This Jacksonville-produced and distilled gluten-free corn-based vodka is the smoothest vodka you'll ever have. And because it's mineral salt filtered after being distilled 5 times, you get the smoothest vodka on the market. And it's made right here in Jacksonville. Brackish Vodka won the silver medal at the Spirits competition this year. But you need to try Brackish Vodka to believe it yourself. The smoothest vodka you'll ever have. Drink like a local. Drink Brackish Vodka. Come on, somebody.
Is your house exterior due for a wash? First Coast Home Pros has thousands of 5-star reviews for a reason. They get amazing results on even the toughest pressure washing jobs. Schedule now at firstcoasthomepros.com.
In sports, the grind outside the lines is what ultimately defines our success. Get the Amateur's Edge, powered by B3 Better, to learn the hidden path of top pros, amateurs, and coaches. Saturday mornings at 11 on 1010XL.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Hurricane season is here, and if you own or run a business, you must protect your valuable property from parking lot floods. Call Duck Duck Rooter, your storm drain maintenance experts. Our VACCON team specializes in regular storm drain maintenance to keep your property safe and secure. With Duck Duck Rooter, you can trust our professionals to keep your storm drains clear, preventing floods and ensuring the well-being of your customers and employees. Call us today at 904-862-6769 to schedule your storm drain maintenance. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com for more information.
Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, it's Prosser here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? Does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound about right now? Well, Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, pretty much doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I'm gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You know what he's done? He's done a nice job. He's continuing to improve and grow. You know, I think the college game to the NFL game is different, so he's learning a few different techniques that Phil is teaching him, and he's just going to get better with time, you know, and more reps on the grass and going against guys like Trayvon and Josh and Caleb on. I mean, he's getting some quality work out there. So, but he's done a nice job, and he's improving, and looking forward to watching him play.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Caleb on against Anton. I'll take Harrison. Why wouldn't I? 3 sacks in 3 years for Caleb on. Feels like most are pulling for Chase on to get something done here, and what a valuable part of this football team he could really be. It is scary. 34 career sacks when you look at the combination of Josh Allen, Kayvon Chaisson, and Travon Walker. All right. I threw this out here, and I set the line at 5.5. I don't know what the line is in Las Vegas for Travon Walker. Okay, I set it at 5.5, and I'm getting a lot of reaction on this. Some are sincere, some are right on it. Others are, there's some smart assery involved in it. It's this is such a polarizing situation. This guy is. It's really intriguing to me because I think that, I hate to say it this way, but it goes back to almost Tyson Alualu, right? When a lot of folks in town here thought that Tebow should have been the pick. That would have been a disaster, right? But it was Alualu selected. A lot of people around here just flat out thought Hutchinson should have been the pick. So you went with Travon Walker, and we saw that he is a full defensive football player. That doesn't matter to a lot of people. They want sacks, and that's all that they want is pure sacks. So today I set the line for Travon Walker at 5.5, and I'm getting about a 50-50 back as to whether or not he'll go over that mark or whether or not he will go under that mark. I'm going to play over 5.5, okay? And there's several reasons for that. But the first thing is this. All right, we do have, all right, it's coming in now from Las Vegas, yada, yada. It is 5.5, so I actually had it right, huh? Hey, maybe I could set a book. Maybe it's some pool hall here in town. Here's 5705. Who you to set the line? Are you Rafael Esparza? I may be. It may be my next career. Okay, but there are several reasons why I would say that the over is going to come in. And again, I'm not betting it. I have no interest in this. But here goes. Most important scenario, Jacksonville's going to have leads this year. Jacksonville's going to be up by a possession or two. Jacksonville is going to make their opponent one-dimensional teams in the second half, okay? And I honestly think Trevor Lawrence and a lot of these passing numbers are going to go down a little bit and that the rushing numbers are going to go up because Jacksonville's going to take a lot of clock, okay? Now, will Doug Peterson subscribe to that? Only time will tell, all right? My conversation with Bernie Parmalee about this going back a few months ago, you should have seen his eyes light up. But I do believe this. Let's look at the AFC South, for instance. You're going to be getting after rookie quarterbacks. You're going to be getting after teams that have forced to pass the football. So there are going to be more opportunities, in my opinion, next year for Jacksonville to be in a sack type of situation. That's the number one reason why I think he goes over 5.5. Number two, he's a really good football player. He's an incredible athlete. He's a beast. He also, you talk about the motor running and the effort being as outstanding as you could expect with anyone. I witnessed the play with him, all these days run together. But it was during one of those situations where they were 11 on 11 and it was contact. And he turned around and ran back downfield, 8 to 10 to 12 yards or whatever it was, and made a tackle that, frankly, a lot of guys in his position wouldn't have. So the effort is there. Number 3, they're working on his technique. I watch every practice with Dave Campo. It appeared to me last year that Travon Walker had that one bull rush move, right? And that's all that he had. We have noticed some different things that he has put together so far this year. And I was asking Dave about it on Monday, and I kind of don't want to go through what we've seen because the Jaguars PR, okay, for starters, they are outstanding. They really are. And they have almost all changed. I mean, the days of Dan Edwards and Alex Brooks and Todd Dickman and all that, and I love those guys, okay? I absolutely do. But the new PR, I mean, this is a really good staff. They're great to us. And I respect it. They don't want you to, talk about a certain route or a certain play or, if, let's say, defensively, at the snap of the ball, Travon Walker turns around and runs 25 yards defensively back downfield and is a corner. They don't want you giving all the ins and outs, right? Once we see the game on Saturday, I think everything changes. Now, granted, the Miller Electric Center has a bunch of fans out there that are seeing things and saying things, and I read everything that is written. But let's just say that his repertoire is changing. He's learning some new moves. Will it immediately prove successful? Possibly. But I think in this case, for at least 1 or 2 sacks, I'm going to say yeah. I also, my biggest concern about him as to why I wouldn't, I gave you 3 reasons why I would. The only reason why I wouldn't, but right now I don't see it, okay? But the only reason why I would not, is if they think he's Calais Campbell. And if they keep sliding him inside. Well, in order to do that, you need someone else on the edge. He lined up Devin Lloyd one-on-one. He got stoned by Coy Crunk. Devin Lloyd's had a wonderful camp. He's been all over the football field. Listen, I really believe Travon Walker and Devin Lloyd are going to make this football team defensively that much better because I see them improving this year. It's a good staff. And year 2 of Mike Caldwell, he's more comfortable in this position. He was able to retain each and every one of his defensive coaches, positional coaches. Now, you lost Chris Jackson to the University of Texas. You lost Jim Bob Cooter to the Indianapolis Colts. So you replaced 2 offensive coaches. But defensively, it's all the same. I think that's important. The only issue that I would have with Travon Walker is when they get into nickel and they get into pass rush mode, is Travon every time going to be inside? And I guess it's Jason on the edge. My guess would be it's going to be Josh Allen, Roy Robertson Harris, Travon Walker, K'Lavon Chaisson. That's not the 1927 New York Yankees, okay? It's not. This team only had 35 sacks a year ago. Dewan Smoot's going to give you something. Realistically, when's he ready? Late October, November? I don't know. I just don't know if you're getting any burn out of Jordan Smith, Yasir Abdullah, or K'Lavon Chaisson. So maybe it is Travon on the edge. And maybe it's Devon Hamilton who's been getting a lot of push next to Roy Robertson Harris. Or maybe we see Roy Robertson Harris and a guy like Tyler Lacey. I know he's a rookie. I get it. But he's been pushing people back. He's done some nice things. And what can you do on the line? Instead of just sending 4, how much more creative can they get? Can you move Travon Walker outside to inside, some sort of a stunt. I think there's a real possibility that schematically you're going to see them try some things that they did not do last year. I think they're going to be aggressive, more aggressive this year. I think you're going to see blitzes more this year. I really do. And remember, this football team did two things last year that kind of go unnoticed. They went from 9 takeaways to 27. That is enormous growth. And I was really concerned about that. I sat with Deshae Townsend last year before camp. I sat with him this year too, and I was like, how do you fix turnovers? I mean, they had 9 in 2021. 9. And they were giving up 9 a game. They dropped it more than 6 points, 6.3 points a game. They're only giving up 20.6. Right now, you just mentioned the Jaguars' defense, and I don't care where you are, what you're doing, you kind of get a, you know what I mean? You don't get a thumb. You don't get the Trevor Lawrence, Tank Bigsby, Calvin Ridley. Oh, my God, this is going to be you get to the defense, it's kind of, right? The defense went from 9 to 27 takeaways. The defense shaved 6.3 points a game off their total to 20.6. If they can just keep it at 20.6, or dare I say they improve by 1 point, 1.5 points. What if they went from 20.6 to 19 a game? Are you kidding me? Is there not a Jaguar fan alive right now that would say, are you trying to tell me, Baloo, that each and every Sunday the defense is only going to allow 19 points a game? You're going to take Trevor in this offense in every one of those games. And that includes going on the road to some pretty good defenses. You know, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, San Fran coming in here. I know everything's about Buffalo and London and KC here and Cincinnati on Monday night. Okay, yeah, those are your heavy hitters. But there are other really good defensive teams in the NFL that are going to attempt to slow down Trevor in this offense. Still, would you take 19? Yeah, you would. Of course you would. So, give me Trayvon Walker plus the 5.5 with sacks. Again, I'm not betting it. I'm just strictly throwing it out there so we can have some fun. Coming up on the other side. You speak of fun, Baloo. Hacker Nation is standing by. What does this guy say? You can set that line at the liquor store off of Hogan and Southside Boulevard. Yeah, it's no longer Glenn's Liquors, but have you noticed what they got going on over there? They got like a self-made food truck. They're playing music. They got like strip club lights up. They got all sorts of craziness. I haven't popped in there yet. Have you?
No, I haven't, but I've seen it's Metropolis over there now. It's thriving.
I'm kind of into it, Gibby. Maybe tonight's the night.
Maybe it is.
Just drive over there, get myself something to eat. Obviously, they got a whole heck of a lot of booze. I mean, they're in the parking lot of a liquor store.
And the liquor store is a nice little place. I mean, it's a nice building, looks like.
It's no Glenn's Liquors, though.
No, it's not.
You know what that means with no Glenn's Liquors is not a bunch of hot ladies running around.
Yeah.
You're a married guy. I shouldn't talk that way to you.
No.
My goodness. But anyway.
It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Hacker Nation is coming up. We got, let me check here. All right, final thoughts on the other side as well. Remember, tomorrow's going to be a blast. Woo! I can only be one place at one time. I'm going to go to UNF and watch my alma mater practice. I know the Jaguars are going to have pads off tomorrow. So I'm going to go to UNF. Should be a great day over there, both Thursday and Friday. Take a look at this Florida State team. Hopefully they hit. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'll have full reports as well on Florida State. Have a guest on tomorrow night to tell us exactly what did take place during the Jaguars Thursday practice as well. Final thoughts coming up. Hacker joins you at 8.
Jaguars football lives here.
Listen, we sticking together.
1010 XL.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8 Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I said yes to Yas, Dr. Mitchell Yas, and the Yas method. Now, I know you've probably tried medications, treatments, injections, even surgery. Maybe the reason you're still in pain is because they're treating the wrong thing and not addressing the root causes. Well, I know from personal experience, this does happen. But I found the best-kept secret in pain elimination, Dr. Yas and the Yas method. Call him today, 904-906-YASS, and say yes to Yas.
Jeff Lageman, Kevin Faber, and Kirk Waltz bring you into the outdoors.
We've got 3 big bucks.
On the Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter. 7 to 10 every Saturday morning on 1010XL.
Cold beer and good grub. That's what you'll get at Taps on 210. Just a great neighborhood feel where friends and family get together. Check out Taps in the Winn-Dixie Plaza, just west of 95 on County Road 210, proudly supporting our 9 After 5 weekly. Head there for a cold one.
When your vehicle needs an oil change, but you just haven't got the time, run into the newest Famous Quick Lube location on San Jose near Crown Point. It's the same fast, affordable vehicle care at your convenience. That's Famous Quick Lube.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, takes the field this season at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark as the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids run the bases after Sunday games. Call 358-2846 or jackshrimp.com. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family, fun.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances performance in the bedroom. Call 904-664-8217.
This is Dr. Chris Swanson. When your sports injuries flare up, come where athletes are treated like pros. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is Verlin Dormany, head coach and athletic director of Trinity Christian Academy. We're proud of our relationship with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Take it from us at Trinity Christian. When you need orthopedic care, call on Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Really good question just rolled in. I'm going to do this on another night. This is from the 7656, but asking me how many sacks I believe the Jags will give up. They only gave up 28 last year, 27 with Lawrence, 1 with Beathard. I tend to believe it's going to go over that this year. You do have some changes. You have problems at left guard. All right, you have a rookie at right tackle. I also think Jacksonville is going to use the vertical game even more this year than a year ago. The major argument with that would be Trevor Lawrence is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to his escapability. I think there's a whole bunch of quarterbacks that if it was a similar situation a year ago, you would have had 35, 37, 38, 40 sacks. I think Trevor Lawrence got out of a ton of sacks. Also, Trevor Lawrence improved his release by nearly 0.4 of a second in just one season. It may be one of the most non-talked about developments in year one and year two. Think about that for a moment. I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I want to say he was like 275 and dropped that to like 2.3 something. I mean, you're talking, his release was among one of the quickest in the NFL. Now, I'm kind of contradicting myself. If your release is going to be that quick, that whole vertical game I talked about, it's going to take a little bit more time than that. But that's an interesting question. If you look at just sacks allowed, 28 was really good for the Jaguars in their offensive line. But I want to say I think most of that is Trevor Lawrence. And again, all you have to do is look at ESPN and their analytics. They had that Jags offensive line at 31st last year in the NFL.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet, keeping 1010XL on track with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
All right, Hacker Nation is up, 8 o'clock right here on a Wednesday night. Young man, how are you?
I'm good. Good practice today. You can tell a lot of hay is in the barn. They're going to go out there tomorrow, and I expect kind of a lighter workload, and then they get on an airplane Friday, and we play a preseason football game on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really should be. Where's most of your attention going to be watching this game on Saturday?
I mean, I'm going to not breathe when the starters are in there. And then once the starters come out and nobody gets injured, knock on wood, then I'll decompress a little bit, maybe have a cigar, and then focus on the rookies. I mean, I think the rookies and the first-year players, I want to look at the 13 person rookie draft class, Brenton Strange, Tank Bigsby, but even more so, Rick, the middle round guys, the Ventrell Millers, Antonio Johnsons, Yasir Abdullah, Tyler Lacey. Those are the guys that really interest me come Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I think 3 of the 4 have done really well. I think Johnson in limited action, Miller, and I think Lacey's been a beast. I just haven't seen it so far with Yasir Abdullah.
Yeah, and boy, he's got I don't know, have you talked to him?
Yeah.
He's got a chip on his shoulder, man.
I know he does.
The height thing, it really bothers him. It's a motivating factor, and every draft guy I talk to really likes Yasir Abdullah. Maybe he's one of those guys where when the lights come on, he's a better game day player than a practice player, but I would tend to agree with you. I have not seen 56 stand out like I have seen other guys, and it's interesting the differing of opinion. Talking to some folks out in Dallas, Mike McCarthy, a guy that won a Super Bowl, probably not going to play any of his starters, whereas Doug Peterson, another coach that won a Super Bowl, is going to get his starters out there for a little bit. So the differing of philosophy between two head coaches that both have Lombardi trophies.
Yeah, and that's kind of the aspect of it that I don't think we always consider. It's the shock that they are going to play. But if they're playing against guys who aren't going to be in the NFL in a month, yeah, it's valuable. I mean, they're obviously good football players, or they would not be in camp. And some of them are going to make the team. But you also don't want to get too ahead of yourself and get too excited knowing that you're not going up against, Lawrence and Parsons and, one of the better cornerbacks in the league right now. How come I can't think of his name?
Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, Trevon Diggs, who's been talking trash to his own quarterback.
Well, I think,
Dak Prescott.
And I think that's a great point. If the first-team Jaguar offense goes out there on Saturday against the second-team Dallas defense and has a couple 3-and-outs, that might be a little cause for concern. You should be able to drive the ball down on their backups with your starters, so that'll be something to certainly watch in the early stages of that game.
What's coming up?
Yeah, speaking of the Jaguar offense, I had the chance to catch up with Luke Farrell. 3rd year in the league. How about this? The elder statesman of that tight end room here in Jacksonville. Year 3 in Jacksonville. He's been in Duval longer than any other tight end on the roster. So we'll talk with Luke Farrell, and we will go to Dallas, or I guess to California, where they're holding training camp. Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com, essentially their John Oehser, if you will join me tonight to give the Dallas perspective on this game on Saturday.
There's only one John Oehser, bro.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. That's right.
All right, Hackers coming up right now. Have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
Folks, I don't check the text line now that the show is over. If you want to get a hold of me, the best way to do so is on Twitter. That is Blue1010XL. Thank you to John Oehser. Thank you to Blake Hance for joining us. Tomorrow, Florida State practices. Looking forward to getting out there. I'll have full reaction comments from Mike Norvell and a couple of players. So that'll be part of things coming up here on Thursday from 6 until 8 o'clock. Thank you to Agent Gibbs. My name is Rick Ballou. Have a great night. We'll do it again on a Thursday, 6 to 8.